All right, fans of music, welcome back. It is I, Dave, the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you right there, and just like yours truly right here. Okay, so Journeys, they appear to be getting along really well this summer, and people are asking me, so, what happened? Last year you were predicting the end of the band, and this is it, no more Journey as we know it, and yeah, and I also said about 3 months later that they'd be on tour with Def Leppard before anyone else talked about it, and that it was pretty much a done deal. And what Neal Schon did on Twitter didn't make sense to me at all last summer, but in hindsight, looking back at what he was trying to do, it makes perfect sense today. And was this a fake feud? No. Here's what I do think happened. Neal Schon, I think, was outnumbered by everybody in the band. Maybe Arnell was kind of on the fence and just going along to get along. And then there's management. There's Irving Azoff, who, if he's going to promote you as a band, he's going to pretty much want a harmonious situation. He doesn't want too much drama, although, as they say, any publicity is good publicity. He probably said to these guys, and maybe to Neal directly, hey, okay, you made your point, now let's get back in line and do what you're supposed to do. Now, Neal, I think, wants to please the fans out there, whereas the other guys in the group, I think, really wanted to change what Journey looked like. I think that they were, at one point, really contemplating Journey without Neal Schon. Now, here's what I think really changed Neal Schon's fortunes in this situation and how he used it, I think, as a bargaining tool or chip. This benefit concert that happened in February, that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't think it was in anybody's contract that Neal could go out there and do this benefit concert, but keep in mind, it was a benefit concert. So this was for all of these fire victims out in California. Now, Neal recruited Dean Castronovo to sing and play drums. Now, keep in mind, Dean hasn't been this high profile as a vocalist except for these projects that he does, like Revolution Saints and the John Gioeli Castronovo album that's set to drop in a little while. But in a live situation, Dean is singing most of the vocals with some help from Greg Raleigh, who was there. By the way, that was another huge coup to have Raleigh and Castronovo. So you've got the classic tenor, and then you've got Raleigh from the old school Journey and Santana years up there. You round out this lineup with keyboard player John Varn and Marco Mendoza playing bass, who also works with Dean in the Dead Daisies and has worked with Neal Schon in the past as well. So this was a powerhouse band, and the hype for this concert was off the charts. And the Independent is kind of like a small hole-in-the-wall place in San Francisco, and tickets sold out in like, somebody said it was like 30 seconds. That just as soon as, you were able to buy tickets, they were gone, all right? And the concert, based on all of the footage, was more exciting, it was more energetic, it was more authentic than anything that Journey had done the previous summer. And I might add, maybe even this summer. I think what's happened is, as time goes on, these older bands tend to just snowball people into their midst, because this kind of music really is going by the wayside. And to see your favorite iconic band, and you're older now, so you may have a little bit of disposable income. The economy is doing okay, so people are going out there and they're purchasing concert tickets, which I think is pretty cool. But, quite honestly, if you gave me the choice between Journey Through Time and Journey, I'm running to see Journey Through Time. So Schon has this in, he has this arrow in his arsenal of things that he can say to management, look, I'm Journey, okay? I'm the founder of Journey, along with Ross Valerie, who I believe is on the fence, he's off the fence, he's on this side, he's on that side. Ross just wants to get along with people, I think, for the most part. I don't think he's a controversial figure. I don't think he wants to cause problems. He's not trying to proselytize to anyone. He doesn't have any books coming out. He doesn't have any solo albums or side gigs that he's working on. I think he's a go-along to get along kind of guy. He wasn't helped to Neal, and Neal tweeted that out last year, and I think that might have snapped Ross back into shape. Arnell, same deal. I think Arnell is kind of caught between these two things that are happening. So that concert was such a success that I think he probably went back to management and said, hey, this is the future here, guys. You can go along with me, or you can keep recycling the old hit songs. Now, everything that's happened this year with Def Leppard was already in the works, okay? And like I've been saying, it gets more interesting, and I've been saying this for a long time, after the tour with Journey and Def Leppard. When that's done, then some interesting things may happen as far as the band, like its name, who gets to keep the name, who's going to fight for the name. You may see some things that you thought were harmonious this summer become acrimonious, and then all you-know-what breaks loose. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I can tell you that everybody is just keeping their mouth shut and trying to be decent to one another, especially to Neal Schon, because I think at this point Neal holds all the cards. Last year I wasn't sure. I thought somebody else had the name to this band. I think the name of the band is split three ways, and who knows, Perry might have a say in this as well, but I think the LLC that was set up was Kane, Valerie, and Neal Schon. It's interesting how Steve Augeri never got in on that as well. I think Augeri's sweet deal is that he can talk about how much he was in the band Journey and so forth and make a living off of it, but there's no revenue stream or anything like that as far as I can tell. So the reason these guys are getting along this summer so well is because Neal is in the driver's seat. After that Journey Through Time concert, the level of authentic excitement that was involved with that event, not just because it was a benefit, but because the set list was crazy good, because Dean Castronovo sang almost like Steve Perry that night. Let's just be honest with you. I know I said almost like, okay, just so the Perry people don't shoot me, all right? And the musicianship was off the charts, and Greg Raleigh being there was just another added bonus of awesomeness. So that's my video, a little bit long-winded, but a thorough explanation as to why things are very tranquil over in Journey Nation right now. All right, I'm done with this video. I'll be back soon. Stay tuned for more.